You hit send on a message and poof, it's gone. It feels completely instant, right? But behind that simple tap is this incredible hidden journey that your data takes. So today, we're going to pull back that curtain and follow its secret path. I mean, really think about it for a second. You type hello to a friend who's literally on the other side of the planet, and it gets there in a blink. How on earth is that even possible? What's the invisible magic that makes it all work? Well, it turns out there's a blueprint for it. And this is it, the OSI Model. You can think of it as the secret rule book for the internet. It was developed way back in 1984, and its genius is that it breaks down the ridiculously complex process of network communication into 7 distinct, manageable layers. It's the whole reason your iPhone can talk to a Windows PC, which can talk to a server running Linux. And by keeping things separate like this, it makes building and, more importantly, fixing networks so much easier. So let's dive into this blueprint. We're going to walk through it layer by layer and see exactly what happens to our data.
Here they are, the magnificent 7. The easiest way to picture this whole thing is to think of it like a 7-story building. When you send a message, your data starts at the very top, on the 7th floor, and it takes an elevator all the way down to the 1st. Then, once it reaches the other end, it travels right back up those 7 floors to get to the person you sent it to. So, let's do it. Let's follow our little hello message on its journey down this digital elevator. We're going to see how it gets packaged and prepped for its big trip across the world. And we're starting right at the top, where you and I live. We start at layer 7, the application layer. This is the part of the whole process you actually see and touch. It's the WhatsApp window where you're typing your message. It's the web browser you're using right now. It's your email client. It's basically the human-computer interface. Now, what's key here is that this layer isn't the app itself. Instead, it provides the services, the protocols that let those apps talk to the network. You've probably seen some of these before, right? Like HTTP, which is what your browser uses to grab websites. So essentially, this layer is the software's front door to the entire network. All right, 1 floor down, we're at layer 6, the presentation layer. I like to think of this as the universal translator and the security guard for your data, all rolled into one. Its main job is just to make sure that the data sent from one computer is perfectly readable by the other. So it takes our hello message and does 3 really important things. First, it translates the data into a standard format everyone can agree on. Second, and this is vital for a private chat, it encrypts it for security. And third, it might even compress it to make it a little smaller and faster to send. Down we go to layer 5, the session layer. Now, if the top 2 layers were about creating and formatting the message, this layer is all about managing the conversation itself. It's kind of like the meeting coordinator. This layer is what actually establishes the connection between your phone and your friend's phone. It's the thing that keeps that communication channel open and stable for your whole chat, making sure everything stays in sync. And then, when you're done, it closes the connection down gracefully. Okay, now we're at layer 4, the transport layer, and this one is a huge deal. This is the network's dedicated courier service. Its entire reason for existing is to make sure your message arrives safely and correctly, piece by piece. And it has 2 main ways of doing this. For something like a WhatsApp message where you absolutely need every word to arrive, it'll use TCP. That's the reliable option. It chops your message into numbered pieces and double-checks that each one arrived in the right order. But for something like a video call where speed is everything, it might use UDP, much faster but no guarantees. It's literally the difference between sending a registered letter you can track versus just dropping a postcard in the mail. Welcome to layer 3, the network layer. You can think of this as the master navigator of the internet. If the transport layer was the local courier, this layer is the global logistics company that figures out the best possible path for your data to take across the entire globe. This is where your data packet gets its unique digital address on the internet. You've heard of it, the famous IP address. Then, special devices called routers, which are like the post offices of the internet, read that address and forward your packet along the most efficient route to its destination. We are getting so close to the hardware now. Layer 2, the data link layer, is all about the local hop-by-hop delivery. So while the network layer planned the whole cross-country road trip, this layer is just focused on getting the data from one router to the very next router in the chain. It does this by packaging the data into something called a frame. And this frame includes a local address called the MAC address. Now, think of it this way.
The IP address is like your home's mailing address for the entire country. The MAC address is like your specific apartment number inside your building. It's the unique hardware ID for the very next stop on the journey. The frame also does a quick error check to make sure nothing got scrambled on that short trip. And here we are. We've reached the bottom of the building, layer 1, the physical layer. After all that sophisticated digital packaging and addressing, our message is finally ready to become a physical signal. This is where the digital magic becomes real, physical stuff. All those carefully built frames are turned into raw bits, ones and zeros, and then sent out as electrical pulses through an Ethernet cable, or flashes of light through a fiber optic cable, or radio waves through the air for Wi-Fi. Our hello message isn't even text anymore. It's pure energy traveling at incredible speeds. So that's the whole journey down. And once those signals reach your friend's device, the entire process just happens in reverse. The physical layer turns signals back into bits, and the data travels all the way back up those 7 layers, getting unwrapped and reassembled at each step until finally the word hello pops up on their screen. This table gives us a fantastic summary of that whole flow. You start at the top, layer 7, where you type the message. Then it gets encrypted, the session is managed, it's broken into segments, given a route, framed for local delivery, and boom, at layer 1, it's sent as physical signals. Each layer adds its own little wrapper and does its specific job. It's really a beautiful, invisible dance. Now, I know what you're thinking. How am I supposed to remember all 7 of those layers? Well, don't worry, there's a helpful mnemonic. To remember them from top to bottom, from 7 down to 1, just think of this sentence. All people seem to need data processing. Application, presentation, session, and so on down the line. And if you want to remember it from the bottom up, which a lot of network engineers do, here's a slightly more fun one. Please do not throw sausage pizza away. That's physical, data link, network, transport, session, presentation, and application. A little bit silly, maybe, but trust me, it works. So there you have it, the secret journey of your data, all guided by a framework that was designed almost 40 years ago. It's really a testament to some incredible foresight that this model still forms the bedrock of how we understand networking today. And it really just leaves you with one final big thought. As our digital world gets even more complicated, what on earth will the next great blueprint for communication look like?